Hello, guys. I'm here in front of you with a new topic. And my topic basically is going to revolve around someone who's really special to us, someone who made us grow, someone who'd, you know, been the real roots of our family, of our living, of our existence. And that is our grandparents. So I would just try and, write a quote or probably just share it with you. I've written a quote. It's a garden of love grows in the hearts of our grandparents. So, what do you think? Isn't it right? I mean, these are the only ones to whom we go, and they have the problem's solution every time. They always have a solution of every problem that you go up with. Probably a small altercation you've had, or just some concern with your body. Even, I mean, you have constipation, you have gas, and your nani or your dadi has some ghar ka nuska to probably just share it with you, and that actually works. That actually works. Just try and listen to her, because she's been living with that. Okay. So we're going to talk about people who age after some time, who that age would certainly just try and fluctuate between 50 to 60, 50 to 60 and above. They try and see so many difficulties in their bodies. They lose their vision. They get a little impaired hearing. They get those bad dentures. Their teeth are being lost. Their digestion isn't proper. They are not that moving. They feel really low, right? All these physiological changes, and more or less, we got to be understanding it that way. That what exactly is taking them there? It's probably our ignorance, I would rather say, and I would rather just put the first thing. It's our ignorance. We've not been taking care of them quite properly, because we've been so engrossed with our lives and so engrossed with our, you know, challenges. That is something which is not making us give 100% to them, but they still accept it. They just want your 10 minutes or your 5 minutes in a day, and just a care of question that how are you and how are you doing. It's just that they need it. So guys, let's just closely understand that what our roots and our pillars of the family actually feel, how their body responds, what exactly challenges they've been going through. You see that there are so many medical conditions they come up with. They get those diabetes, they get those hypertensions, they get those kidney issues, the anemia, some mental disorders also, some of them witness. So what is the root cause of all this? It's basically their whole life struggle, right? They've been depressed, they've been under stress, they've been doing 100% to keep up with your growth. They just don't want to lose you anywhere. So are we really catering to how well they feel right now, what exactly their body demands, what are we giving it to them? Okay, so basically it's like what you have been doing with your lives, what you have been eating is what you've been serving. Fine. Because mostly we don't have time. We try and look upon that we have to be working, we have to be doing some household work, we got to be keeping good track of our food habits and everything. But mostly we try and munch on, probably grab on, is the packet food. Okay, and that is what we are serving them as well. Okay, the packeted food, the processed ones, the beverages, the sodas that we are able to digest, but they are not, because the thing is that their body isn't that active now, their body isn't that capable enough now, that it try and give those digestive enzymes, that digestive juices properly. The peristaltic movement of their gut isn't correct. It's really slow, because it's been years, it's been, the body has been doing so much to rectify it. Fine. So we got to be keeping a little more on track, that how and what exactly their body demands and what we have to be giving to them. Because if they'll be correct, if they'll be right on their conditions, the recovery would be better, the body's cell functioning would be better. And if you see that they also lose on some of their muscles, they try, their fat levels basically gain, the percentage of fat gains, the composition of body is whole completely changed, right? And that is only because they've not been too motivated to work out. They've been under stress, they've been feeling lonely, they've been feeling really left out. And that is what we got to be correcting it. See, Understand this, that food wholly doesn't correct you. It's just how well your body is, its framework is, how well your mind is, how peaceful your mind is, that's going to, just try and give a kickstart, or probably just a push to your food to get more utilized, more absorbed, more reach to your cells, and more is going to be reflected on your skin. So be a little more on your areas of work. Eating right is not the only thing. Eating right, feeling right, and doing it right is what you got to be keeping up with. Fine. Your physical activity, first of all, when we just try and talk about, it's not only for our kids, it's not only for our adults, it's also for our, you know, age old adults, basically, our grandmas, our grandpas. If they can't manage to go out, if they feel that no, they're very tired, they don't want to go out, they don't want to, sit out, it's they're okay with their situations, just try and come up with them, just try and take them out, or probably not out, just try and give them some exercises, just let them know some exercise that could do some flexibility changes, that could probably just move their joints a bit, where they feel that more muscles are being worked upon, their joints are being worked upon, their muscles around the joints are actually being worked upon, because joint pain is something which is very commonly seen in our grandparents. So you just got to be keeping a good track of their physical activity first. Secondly, their is most of the times more into, probably they'll get those constipation issues, they'll get those acidity issues, their gassy issues, all of these things. Sometimes they'll get those loose stools. That could be because of their medical condition, or probably some medicines that they've been taking, or probably one major thing is their physical activity. Fine, they've not been moving too much, and the other thing is that they've been not consuming too much of water, which is not releasing their toxicity out of the body. Fine. So just try and see their gut, that how well their gut is been performing. So you got to be giving them good fiber there. Fine. The fiber is not going to just come, with these veggies and these fruits. You got to be including some fiber in their millets too. Fine. So increase their consumption of oats. Their ragi could be one good option that they can include in your wheat, in the wheat rotis that you prepare. Fine. Give them variety of foods every day. That will give them more upliftment there. Fine. And definitely, like I've mentioned, the fruits, the veggies, they are the crowns of food industry. You got to be keeping them really up with the diet when you've been on a healthy diet kind of thing. Fine. And secondly, your dry fruits, your nuts and seeds, that probably you would say that they won't digest it better because it's really high in fiber, and how they're going to, they'll get those constipations or something. Just try and blend it for them. Give them like a good grind, and you can just try and add in their curds or in their buttermilk that they consume, or probably when you give them some vegetables, some salad sticks, add 1 teaspoon there. Fine. So also their good fatty acids would also go there, so it's good for their cell functioning. Fine. It's good for their brain, it's good for their appetite that has been controlled, and basically your nutritional value has been very well captured there. So it's good to just go and include more of fiber in their diet. And when I'm saying fiber, that certainly calls up with a good water intake, certainly. So if you know that with age you just try and reduce the sense of, your body basically reduces its sense of giving you that signal that yes, it's thirsty. Okay. So then these people don't get to understand that are they like really thirsty, because they really don't consume too much of water. So when you increase the fiber, it's good to just give them good water intake as well, so that their bowel moves really well. And with the physical activity, the gut would be very well done, because you will have three major parameters that are going to follow up with their gut issues. So the thing is that constipation, or probably your loose stools, or probably your gas, your acidity would also go off after consuming your good fiber and your good water intake, and with a good physical activity routine. Secondly, like that protein is something which is very well on screens now, that you got to be consuming good protein sources. So yes, it works with them as well, but it's good to just try and stick to something which is more of a plant based kind of thing, because their gut isn't that health, what do you say, active enough, or isn't that young enough to digest those organ meats, or probably just those chickens or those mutton's too much. So it's good to just try and stick to your tofus, your paneers, your curds, your buttermilks, and you can also include some soya in their attas, or if not attas, you can probably just do up with some tofu in that case. Okay, soya milk is one good option. You can probably give them, and milk certainly can be given, not a problem, but try and keep it really very low in fat, because their fat levels also increase when they're really aged, and because they've not been doing some workout routines, and they've been on beds now, and they've been losing too much of their proteins, their muscles, for its normal metabolism of the body. So it is very important to give them something which is easy for their gut, and also gives a good boost to their muscles and good repair to their tissues too. So it's better to give them more of cottage cheese, more of your curds, more of your tofus, more of your soya products. These things can certainly be included. But when you have some medical condition relating to your thyroid levels or something, so in that case, it's better to just try and restrict your soya. All right. Okay. So second, and the other thing that I'm going to discuss is the major, micronutrients that we've been really not able to give them, on point. It's vitamin A, vitamin D. Fine. These are vitamins that are very essential to the body, because vitamin A is going to help up with your cell functioning. Secondly, and definitely it's going to help with their eyes. Fine, because they try and lose a bit of their eyesight. They just try and your eyesight gets really impaired there. Fine, you don't see things really clearly. They've got those spectacles and everything. So you got to be giving them good greens there. Also, your yellows and or your orange colored fruits and veggies are something that are going to help them really well to meet up these vitamin A levels. So your papayas, your carrots are going to really well helpful. Now, vitamin D, again, you know that it's not, very well met up when you're on a vegetarian kind of a diet. And also, sunlight being the most, powerful source of vitamin D. So it's just try and let them sit out for at least 20-25 minutes every day. And also, you can probably just supplement them for some time after seeing their levels. So, vitamin D can be met up there, because their hormones should be maintained, because this is what is very well needed for their bones, because calcium is again being lost. Fine, because of their depleting vitamins and minerals reserves in the body. So it's good to go that their calcium levels are being met up, so that vitamin D gets a most the vitamin D can use this calcium and just try and mineralize their bones and make them a little more stronger. Their joint pains doesn't come up. That way you can probably do up. And the last thing that I'm going to mention, probably the second last thing I'm going to mention, is that you got to be keeping a good track of their calcium and their iron intakes, fine? Because as you know, that cells are usually get reduced when you age. So it's better to just try and include more of the oxygenation. Find that oxygenation and probably those iron content in the body is going to make up. So it's good to just try and include more of your green leafies. Understand? So include those spinach, your bathuas, your methis, and the other thing that I want to mention is that you got to be having some chutneys along with their food, because then they'll get those good tastes, and then they'll be able to match up to their low appetite that they've been doing since so long. So just have those mint chutneys, those coriander chutneys, and certainly vitamin C had to be included with the iron because of its better absorption in the body. So just try and add some amla, or probably just squeeze in some lemon on it, and you can have some sweet lime juice there. It's going to help up with their oxygenation. HP levels will be better with that. Calcium, you have good dairies there. Fine, your dairy products are rich in calcium, so your calcium intake would be met up with that. And also, you can add more of your sesame seeds and more of your ragis in the. Also, your green leafies have good calcium intake. So it's better to just try and keep up with these things. To match up with this mineral intake in their bodies, just to make them a little more, on a better side, so that they've been consuming a wholesome kind of a diet all day. And most importantly, your water and your physical activity is what is going to play a important role in their diet, because water, like I've mentioned, they don't get those sense of thirst. So it's better to drink water every now and then. fine. It basically don't give them those craving wala issues, and also they release those toxins that are being metabolized after your food has been broken down by the body. So it's good to just try and drink good water intake. Give them different concoctions, bhai. Give them zira wala pani, give them normal ajwain wala pani as per their digestion. Certainly you got to be talking to someone, and then some health expert, and then going to recommend them that way. But their digestion would certainly be okay when you try and give them more of these concoctions thereupon. Physical activity, if they can manage to go for a good walk, even a slow walk would be okay. If they are not able to, just try and do some ask them to do some joint related exercises. Just try and involve some those belts that actually just keep them a little more apart, and then you got to be keeping them together, so that way they can involve some joint related exercises, some knee related exercises. Yoga becomes the best thing for our oldies, because at this time you are a little more relaxed, you don't have too much of your responsibilities to fill up with. So definitely yoga comes as the major standpoint to involve some physical activity there. And last but not the least, I would like to just try and sum up. The thing is, just sit for some time with them, because they need you. They know whenever they've been doing a bit for you, they've always been wanting you to sit with them and to enjoy that moment. Fine. It's just one single moment that they ask. Your bit of care, your bit of connection, your bit of love. Even that question would be okay with them, that how are you doing, or what exactly do you need, or it's just one moment that they actually look after your presence in the house, right? So just try and make a bit, just try and spare those 5 minutes every day, and sit with your grandparents, sit with your parents, because they have done everything. They've given you everything, and they want you to be grown. They actually, our parents, our grandparents are the only ones who wish to see you grow each and every day. They won't question you that what you've been doing. They'll just say that not a problem, it just happened, कोई बात नहीं, we'll do it next way यार, कुछ better कर लेंगे इसके अलावा. So they've been giving those positive vibes every now and then. And there's an activity that I really want to share with you, because this is what I have been doing with my Nanaji every time. It's that whenever he used to be here at our place, he always used to ask Mama to prepare different things, different dishes that we've not been known, man. We don't relish it completely. So he'd been just giving. I just want to discuss what all weird and really, enriching. Meals that he's been consuming. It's like he used to have those karele tari wale, he used to have those mungre ki sabzi, that fool ki sabzi he used to have, bajre ki churi he used to demand that, hi, I want to have that, your mother used to make it. So all these things are so rich in fiber, they are so traditional to us, that I don't want you guys to just lose it up. You've got to be touched with your roots, you got to be keeping up with your roots, because that is what is going to make you sustain it and teach your kids. And also just love your grandparents. Yeah, they really, it's worth it. You'll get that happiness, you'll just relax, you'll be all okay at the end of the day. So I hope that you guys like this video, and if you really liked it, just try and hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Take care.